Hi, my name is Harold Enger from SpringGreen Lawn Care, and I want to talk to you about controlling weeds. A customer often asks this question: why does my lawn have weeds? Well, you have to think about it in this way. A lawn is dynamic. Things are always happening. You're going to have insects present, you're going to have diseases present, weeds are going to germinate throughout the year. It all depends on the time of year and what's happening out there. So that's the first thing to understand, is that weeds are part of nature. They're going to be there. Now, the second thing to understand is that weeds have different types of life cycles. You have annual, you have biennial, and perennial. Annual means they live for a year. Biennial, they live for 2 years. Perennial, they live for more than 2 years. Even underneath those categories, we have some subcategories. You have weeds that germinate in the spring, and they live through the summer and die in the fall. Those are your summer annuals. Then you also have annuals that germinate in the fall. They grow vegetatively, then they survive the winter in that vegetative state. They start growing again in the spring, they flower, and then they die with the heat of the summer. So you've got all of this happening at the same time. You also have biennials that are coming up throughout the year. You have perennials that come up throughout the year. So there's a lot of different things. It's not one application and they're all going away. They happen to germinate throughout the year. So how do we control them? Well, there's a couple of different ways. Probably the best thing you can do is follow proper cultural practices. And when we talk about that, we're talking about mowing, watering, and fertilization, along with core aeration. Those are the things that will help your lawn to improve. The stronger your lawn is, the thicker and more dense it is, the less problem you're going to have with weeds. The mowing is the most important cultural practice of them all, because by having your grass mowed high, it's going to shade the ground underneath to keep that sun from getting down to those weed seeds and germinating. So if you have your lawn mowed at about 2.5 to 3 inches for most grass types, you're going to be good and you're going to have less weeds. About the only place you're going to have weeds are along the edges, but not in the middle of the lawn. The other things that we do for controlling weeds, keeping the lawn growing well, so watering it on a regular basis. And I mentioned core aeration, fertilization, following a good program like SpringGreen. You will have a better, healthier lawn that will keep out the weeds. As far as spraying weed control, there's a couple of different ways. In the spring, we put down a pre-emergent, meaning before the weed germinates, to keep those weeds from germinating. We also use post-emergent controls that are going to control the weed from after it's up and growing. But there's two important aspects of that. The weed has to have germinated, plus it has to be growing, meaning if it's hot, or if it's cold, or the environment is not right, you probably won't be able to control that weed, especially if it's too hot or too cold. So if you're having problems with weeds on your lawn, contact your neighborhood lawn care professional at SpringGreen Lawn Care, or visit our website at www.spring-green.com and click on the blog link. You can send me a question. I will answer it for you.